Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to the channel. Today I am talking about X-Men Season 1 by Jamie McKelvey on the art and Dennis Hopless with the writing. This comic came out in, I think it started in 2011, and it does exactly what it says basically. This is the beginning of the X-Men. You've got Beast as he was before he was Beast. You know, he's the sort of scientist of Hank McCoy. You have Jean Grey starting off in the X-Men, and her meeting Angel, Cyclops, and Bobby Drake Iceman, and that's pretty much it. Unfortunately for me, there's Jamie McKelvey's art, although it's very crisp, very refined. It looks good. It's nothing that's particularly striking to me. So as you can see, it's very, very sort of Marvel house style, and that's something that I don't really like happening well, I say the majority. It's majority of the big two with DC and Marvel. A lot of their sort of big named comic series have this kind of house style just to make you feel at ease. I think it is, but I actually like it when an artist does something a little bit different, does something that's sort of more to their strengths. And so for me, it sort of missed the mark a little bit with that. Added to the fact that this was it 2011 it came out. It's 5 years prior to that we had X-Men First Class. Now this was it written by Jeff Parker and the art by Roger Cruz. Now the art in this I like a little bit more. It's a little bit less cartoony like that one. Like I said, that one it looks more like a TV series. And there's nothing wrong with that at all, but it's just not something that I would like. I don't like it to be that sort of perfect, as it were. The X-Men First Class written really well. I really enjoyed the story. It went on for quite a long time as well. You know, I think there was the original 8 issue series. They had a special, went on for another series. I can't remember how long it went for. I think it had 3 volumes in total. Really well written. I really enjoyed the artwork, and it was something that to me felt a little bit fresh at the time. This was before the film First Class came out, and before everyone started rebooting things. And this, I liked the idea of going back to the beginning, and that's is something that I really enjoyed. And I was a big fan of the X-Men growing up anyway. So to see what it was like for them in sort of the original team, but in a more updated version, I quite respected. It's really unfortunate for me that Dennis Hopeless, at the moment, I've read a couple of his things. It just, for me, it seems like it could be an entry point. It's not something for sort of the aficionados. I don't think he's going to do much for people that are really, really into the X-Men canon, which I mean you could take both ways. If you want someone to really sort of just start getting into it, then yeah, this is a good book to introduce them to the characters. If there's someone, I wouldn't say like myself, I've not read everything X-Men. I've read a lot of the Chris Claremont stuff, and I think that is absolutely fantastic. I really do think that's probably one of the best runs on X-Men. I really do. That's he's the one that introduced sort of the Wolverines, the Gambits, you know, the classic teams as far as what my generation would be when we grew up with the was the 1992 X-Men animated series. Was it 92 or 95? The X-Men animated series of the 90s. That was the classic team, and that's what I would say he's responsible for. So for someone like myself, or like someone who knows even more about the X-Men, I don't think this is going to do much for them. For someone who's just getting into comics, who's just wanting to try and get into the X-Men, this is probably a really good start off. It introduces the characters relatively well. They're a little bit younger. They are obviously starting into it. Is, as it says, it is a season 1. Yes, it's okay for that. But if you really want to deep dive into things, I would very much suggest X-Men First Class. I would say that's definitely a better read. But I mean, this is why I'm enjoying this time, I guess, as if you can say that much as it is. It's given me this time to actually go back at the comics that I did want to read. I've had that for a couple of years and I wanted to get around to reading it. and I'm now going to crack on with a lot of other stuff. Really, it's a shame it had to come to this, in the times that we're living in. But I think it's given a lot of people a bit of time to catch up with things and to really sort of think about things in general. Before I go, I will say a couple of things. There is a blog called The Rotting Zombie. There will be a link in the description. The guy that writes it, Dan, is incredible guy. He writes a lot of really, really good pieces. He writes about movies and books. Really, really knows his stuff, and it's a really interesting blog. I'm obviously subscribed to it, and I would very much suggest that everyone else checks it out. He's got some really good stuff on there. And guys, like if you haven't already, please, if you really enjoy this content, like, share, subscribe. It really, really, really does help me out. And I will definitely see you in the next video.